welcome to the Sports Podcast.
I like that, do that.
Well, we'll just keep that. That'll be the intro. There we go. Welcome to the very first yet-to-be-named podcast. We don't know what we're going to name it. We're talking sports. We're talking Steelers. And my name's Carson McCandless, and this is my cousin,
Cole
McCandless. And first order of business, we're going to jump right into it, is the QB rankings. We have a top 10 each. So, Cole, why don't you tell me your first?
Gosh, we really got right into this. I'll start at 10.
Yep. Start at 10. Interesting. Go for it.
It's way more exciting that way. All right, 10 I have Lamar.
I have Russell Wilson at 10. I have Lamar actually missing the top 10.
Interesting. Who? Man. All right, who's your 10? I don't know who you would put over
10
Lamar.
is Wilson.
Oh, yeah, I'm stupid. What the heck? Who's ahead of Wilson?
Well, we'll get to that. But I think Wilson's still got a lot of talent. His last two seasons have been first half insane, second half god-awful.
Yeah.
He's still a really good quarterback, though. That's the thing. And it's not like his team's helping him on offense. So.
It seems to be kind of a weird trend with small quarterbacks, because Kyler's kind of been the same way, where he's kind of faded down the stretch. So I don't know if it's just coincidence or if it's based on their size and kind of slowing down as the season goes on. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I agree. He's somewhere in that range. He was probably top 5 for sure going in. Maybe I think I had him at 3 last year at this time. But yeah, just a weird season.
Yeah. All right, number 9. I'll go first on this one. I have Derek Carr.
That's who you had in there. See, let me look this up here. Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr. I think he would be my number 11. But his numbers weren't anything special. I think
I have three guys that just missed the top 10.
All right, who were they?
Being Lamar, Tannehill, and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I didn't think Tannehill had that good of a year either. But
I don't
Carr,
really like Tannehill. I've never been a
I think
Tannehill
he's more
fan.
in the 15 to 20 range at this point. Let's see this.
Kirk Cousins. Listen to his stats this year.
Oh, I know Kirk had really good stats. I honestly.
He had a really good stats this year.
He's right out there too. He's probably right behind Carr. I probably have him at 12 or 11.
4,221 pass yards, 33 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. That's what does it for me.
Yeah.
That's a great ratio there. That's why I have him just missing it. I think.
Well, I'm surprised you have Carr higher, if you're going based on like stats. Carr was 23 and 14 this year. Touchdown to interception.
Which is obviously a lot worse than say Kirk Cousins, but I think Carr has a lot more actual talent when it comes to like physical sides than Cousins does. That's why Cousins misses my top 10.
But you would take, if you had a game and you had to pick a quarterback, you would take Carr to win the game over Lamar.
If I'm looking, if it's like a fourth quarter down by 7, give me Carr every time. It depends on my team too. If like the Steelers situation right now where I just need a game manager, give me give me Cousins every day. But if I have, if I need my offense to be more volatile, then I'm gonna take Carr.
I mostly meant like Lamar, like as to why Lamar is off your list.
You can't throw. No, he's come along with his accuracy and stuff, but I mean, every time he's played the Steelers, he's crapped the bed. Anytime he plays a good defense, he struggles. It's just how much do you value his running ability? I think it's really good.
I also can't see Lamar improving much more than what he has because he's starting to take hits now.
He gets the worst. The worse his running ability.
He's starting to take hits. He's in the prime right now of being able to run with the way his legs are. I just don't think it's going to be able to hold up forever. I mean, it's kind of weird too because the reason he missed time this year wasn't even because he was just running a lot. It was just like a weird fluke sack, and like it could happen to anybody. But yeah, that's kind of why he. You remember like week 6, people were saying like Lamar was going to be MVP, like he was the leading MVP candidate. It was a weird season.
I mean, he's good, but you can't rely on his throwing ability to win you games. You can rely on his running ability to win you games. That's why he's like probably number 11 for me. But you just can't rely on him to throw the ball downfield.
All right, number 9, I had Kyler Murray.
Whoa.
Is
I
he higher
have
for you?
Yeah, he's a higher. So I have Dak at 8.
I
I
had Dak
like
at 8 too.
I like what he does. I don't like what he does. I hated Dak. I liked Dak, and then I'm kind of back to hating on Dak again. I think
Yeah, Dak is weird. People are really super high on him or super low.
yeah, I think they were way too high on him his first couple of years. Then they got way too low on him like a year or two ago. There everyone was really low on Dak, and now I think people are way too high on him again. He finished the game. He finished the season out strong, though. I'll give him that. I think eight's a really good spot for him.
Let's see here. Let's add Dak into this player comparison this season. What did Dak throw? What the heck? Where is he even at? He didn't even show up.
Oh, I can read you his stats off. He had 4,449 pass yards, 37 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. He had a
He
kind of a
missed
crappy running season though. He only had
sometime.
146
He
yards
missed
and
one or
one
two games.
touchdown.
Well, yeah,
No, he missed one.
yeah. Another playoff letdown for the Cowboys.
Yeah. And then so I had Murray at 7,
Okay, I
right
mean,
above Dak.
it's not that big, that much difference
Yeah.
here. I
No.
could like you had like top 5.
Well, I have so I put little tiers. Dak, Carr, and Wilson are in the bottom tier, and then Murray's part of the next tier up. I thought he was a full tier higher than these guys.
I think he's right there with like Dak and Lamar probably. Just he seems, he's kind of inconsistent too. I mean,
Yeah, he's
I wish we had
inconsistent.
Jordan on here for this because he could tell us. Although he probably wouldn't give us a fair review.
I don't know. When it comes to Cardinals, he's usually pretty fair in his assessments, surprisingly enough. We'll usually be excited about something Cardinals, and Tom will be like, nah, they're going to suck it up. They're going to stink. But yeah, I like Murray.
Honestly, for me,
His
5,
inability.
6 through
Go ahead.
10 is just a big tier for me, and then kind of, honestly, I think maybe 4 and 5 are a tier, and then 1 through 3 are a tier. Okay, who's your 6? Oh
Stafford.
wait, did I say my 7? My 7's Russell Wilson.
Oh, okay, so you have him a lot higher than I do. You like him
Yeah,
over Murray. You think Murray's the better mobile guy.
I think Wilson is. He's just a veteran. I think I would just trust Wilson more to win a game
That's true.
than Kyler.
And I can see where you're coming from. I mean, the Seattle themselves have a better, or worse,
Kyler has more
sorry,
help for sure.
stuff around him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to say.
6, I also had Stafford. So I think our top
Yep.
5 is going to be the same, or same guys. We'll see what the order.
Yeah, almost same order, I think. But yeah, Stafford's good. Glad he got out of the Lions' horrible, horrible organization. Freed himself and got a Super Bowl. But I mean, he he had some bad games nearing the end of the regular season,
Yeah,
which
he's
keeps him at
still
8
kind
for
of
me.
a little inconsistent, but I got to reward him for the Super Bowl win and
Yeah,
the clutch
played well,
comeback.
played really well. All right, number 5. What do you have?
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go Joe Burrow. I have Justin Herbert at 5.
Yeah, people are gonna recency bias. Herbert missed the playoffs, no fault to him because he was playing out of his
Correct.
mind. I think if he would have gotten in, he could have made some noise. But
Yeah, I agree.
I like
But I
Burrow,
think
but I think Herbert's got the better arm talent for sure. Burrow's got that kind of like clutch factor, just got
I
that
think
like that it factor. But
yeah, I think
Herbert's
Herbert has the much better
crazy.
arm, a much worse team around him than
Herbert's crazy and can easily
Burrow.
move into the top 3, maybe yeah, probably top 3 next year for sure. But
I think Herbert
I
has
was
better
a
potential than Burrow, but
Herbert
Burrow has
doubter.
that. Yeah, so was I. So was I.
I was a Herbert doubter.
Out of the draft.
Well, not even just like just after his rookie season, because like I know some guys in the sports card business, and they're saying how high Herbert's stock is, and I was like, I would not buy that because he's coming off one of the greatest rookie seasons ever for a quarterback. I'm saying the only way he could go was down. But if you
Mm-hmm.
can follow up one of the greatest seasons ever for a rookie quarterback and improve on it, like then I'm a believer.
It's what Baker couldn't do.
I mean,
Baker had a really, really, really good rookie season. He crapped the bed.
you've sold me on you sold me if you can do that. If you can follow up an elite rookie season with an even better one. So Herbert's crazy. Just watch him. He's nuts. He's got a great deep
Yeah.
ball, great arm talent. He's mobile. He's gonna be. I mean, the AFC is gonna be crazy for so many years.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, yeah, I love Herbert. I do need to watch a little bit more Herbert, but Joe Burrow. I've always been a Joe Burrow stan. I love the guy. He might not be as athletically gifted and physically gifted as Herbert. Herbert probably has a higher ceiling because of that, but his brain is insane. His processor's really good. He can make any read and get the ball there with plenty of time to spare. He might not be able to hit the tiniest windows like Herbert can. There's a
Yeah.
couple throws I saw him do. That's insane that the ball was able to get there. That I could say for a fact that Burrow couldn't. But Burrow doesn't necessarily need to.
Yeah, we'll
I think.
see. The Chargers can make some noise this next year. I don't know what their cap situation is, but they should have space.
Yeah.
They should
They
be
need
able
to
to.
do something. They need to do something to
We'll
help
see if
Herbert
they
while he's
can
still on
nail the
the
draft. Yeah,
contract.
but he's gonna be cheap for a couple years, and they gotta take advantage with how stacked the AFC is. I mean, Bengals coming out of nowhere, then you got Bills and Chiefs and Pittsburgh, obviously. All the big competitors next year.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, I think this is where there's a little bit of a
I'm.
tier. I would love Herbert though. I don't know. It's close. Herbert could.
I just put the top five guys in a tier of their own. I just said it's close
Yeah, I
enough.
could see that, but I think top three is pretty universally agreed on
Yeah.
by most
I'm
people.
assuming you have Herbert at four.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Go. Tell me number three.
I have Josh Allen.
Yep.
Uh, he kind of was disappointing to start the year, but got super hot, especially in the playoffs.
Hmm.
Kind of got
And just stayed hot.
he got screwed by
Overtime rules.
yeah. I mean, that's talk for a different day, but
Yeah. All I'm gonna say now is if you like the overtime rules as is, you're not a fan of football.
okay, okay. I don't know about that. I mean, we'll see. I
That's
think they
that's
will
the best
change
way
it,
of
but
saying it. Yeah. Yeah, Allen.
yeah,
I mean,
if
he
he
drug
plays
his
like he
team to
did,
the
if he plays like he
playoffs.
did in the
Playoffs.
playoffs, I mean, he's gonna run away with the MVP.
Incredible.
He could probably be one. I mean, I think he's right there with Mahomes physically and just like he
Hmm.
probably. I
Yeah.
mean, he has an even better arm than Mahomes.
Yeah. Yeah. You see him throw like 60, 70-yard bombs from his knees
I mean, if
without
you
like
give,
pads on and stuff, but like, jeez, oh man.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, he has. I mean, he's doing this with no run game too. I mean,
Yeah.
you could probably definitely say that Mahomes has more help.
Oh
And he
yeah,
was right there
100%.
gunning with.
I
Yeah,
mean, Allen's
if they get
defense
another
was
playmaker at receiver, they should
yeah,
probably
Cole
draft a
Beasley.
running back or something. They need to do something.
Yeah.
Singletary and Moss, they ain't it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
I
his
love Allen.
defense is all right, but when you're going up against people like Mahomes and the Chiefs, where their defense literally could not do anything against them, and they just got absolutely destroyed the entire playoff game, and you just need Mahomes or not Mahomes, you need Allen to step up, and that's exactly what he did during that game.
Yeah,
What's the streak they had where they had like 10 straight uh, drives that ended in kneel downs or touchdowns or something like that?
I
I
don't
forget
remember.
what the exact thing was, but I remember
But yeah,
seeing
it
that
was
on
crazy.
a television. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
All
Then,
right, this is where it's
number
gonna get interesting. 1, 2. This is where there could be some.
number two, I have
Dang.
Mahomes.
I did too. I just made this list super quick. If I thought about it some more, I don't know. Mahomes just kind of. He's had some interception luck. He's not like. He's not invincible like everyone thought he was a couple years ago. I mean, he kind of came back to earth this year. He's a little bit inconsistent, makes some strange decisions. I think Allen is is extremely close
Yeah,
to
he's right behind
Mahomes.
him.
I mean, yeah, they're almost interchangeable. Like I don't, if you had, I'd probably just pick Mahomes because he's done it before. He's won,
Hmm.
but that might be like the tiebreaker. Because I mean, yeah, when yeah, I don't know what else really to add to that, but
Yeah, I love Mahomes. He's obviously an incredible player, but I think you just have to give it to Rodgers in this situation. I mean, he was MVP this season for a reason. He's incredible. He's done it his whole career, and
I
I
don't
think
get
Mahomes is behind
the
him. But
Rodgers hate really. I mean, I kind of do because he hasn't won in a long time, but you just watch him
yeah,
play. It's
I
really
mean,
that's all
he
you have to
struck
do.
that terrible roster year after year after year into the
There's no way
playoffs.
to understate like how crazy it is his his interception rate. Like it's like absurdly lower than anyone else in NFL history in terms
Yeah,
of that kind of volume. Like he takes care of the football like no one else, and he it's not like he's just checking it down every play either.
yeah, like Brady. He's not doing that.
Okay,
He's
well,
slinging it to
I don't want
the only wide receiver he has
the
on the
Rodgers
team.
versus Brady debate's another time, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have to talk about Brady in this because
Yeah,
that could have gotten
tiring.
controversial.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, I love Rodgers. He's incredible. A lot of people don't understand how bad the Green Bay roster is. They have two good guys on defense, and Gary and Alexander, and then on offense they
okay, I don't
have
think they're that bad. I don't think their roster was that bad this year. I
I don't
mostly
know.
think it's just the offensive help behind
It's just Rodgers and
Adams.
Adams. I guess
Yeah,
the running back wasn't too bad. He's a good fantasy guy, but it's pretty much the Rodgers Adams show, and they're losing both of them possibly in free agency.
they won't. I think if I was a betting man, I'd probably say they'll both be back. But if Rodgers once paid 50 million, I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Yeah, but like if if Rodgers and Adams leaves, that's the entire offense for Green Bay. They're gonna have the worst offense in the league without those
All
two.
right,
I don't know. Maybe Love comes up, but that's a discussion for another day.
honorable mention Mason Rudolph. All right, we can move on.
uh, all right, so for our next subject, we have Steelers' biggest needs as a team, and a lot of people might say quarterback. And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think anyone with a brain knows it's the offensive line.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's 100% the line. You can't support a quarterback without a no line.
Yeah, I'm very much in favor of figuring that out first before the quarterback position, which I think history proves that's the way to go.
Yep.
Other than the
Build
Bengals, the Bengals
trenches.
defied history and all odds this year by just ignoring their offensive line straight up, making Burrow like the most sacked quarterback ever, and then making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
But
the game against what Tennessee? How many times was he sacked?
9.
That's crazy. I remember when Lamar got sacked 8 times at one time. I think it was last year, and everyone was going crazy over that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, O line is definitely the biggest need. Uh, I mean, our tackles are kind of terrible.
Yeah,
Our
I just want to say that you'll see like different media guys, Pittsburgh media or whatever. They'll be like, "Oh, so and so, Chuk's not that bad. We can bring him back." And they'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna give Kendrick Green another shot at center. We're gonna roll with Dan Moore. Obviously, Dotson's back. I mean, like before you know it, you're running back with the same old line. And
yeah,
I mean, it is criminal if you run out that same old line next year. Even if you
yeah. I
just
mean, you watch
didn't do,
any game of the Steelers last year, and you just watch the offensive line. Every single play, whether it's running or a passing play, they just get pushed back a couple yards. It's
yeah,
disgusting.
they
And
couldn't get
people
any
look at
push.
Najee Harris and be like, he had a pretty darn good rookie season, but I don't think they realize that every single play where he touched the ball, he had a defender in his face within 1 yard or a yard
Yeah,
before
I
the
think
line
his
of
yards
scrimmage.
after contact was like the highest in the league by a lot
Yeah, he's gonna be
after first
insane
contact.
once we
So
get this line fixed.
I would say personally, just I think the goal should be to upgrade at least 2 spots on the O-line. I think
Yeah,
whether
2 or
that
3.
be through free agency or the draft. I don't have specifics. I don't have names right now. We'll go through draft prospects in a little bit, but I don't have like specifics in free agency of who they should fix. But I just don't think you can run back with the same guys. So I mean,
Yeah.
we go down the line. We'll just do this real quick. We'll just go down the line and talk about whether we think they should stay or whether we want them to leave. So I mean, at left tackle, you have Dan Moore, who, I mean, he showed some promise. I mean, not great,
Yep.
but you're obviously hoping he takes the next step and can be that tackle of the future that you got for cheap.
Yeah, for what,
So
like a fourth or
yeah,
fifth round pick that we got him for, and he stood up in there and is probably one of our better O line guys. I mean,
yeah.
I'm happy with him. He's not the best, obviously. You'd like a great left tackle
So
to
I
cover that
agree.
blind
You're
side.
running back with Dan Moore.
Yeah, he's definitely not
Guard,
even close to the biggest problem.
guard. You got Dotson, who I
Yeah.
think is probably their best alignment when he's healthy. He had a really good
Yeah, but
rookie year.
he's all
He's in
the
the
stories that
doghouse
came out
a little
about
bit.
him and stuff. I mean, he's either our best offensive lineman or he's not on the field. There's no in between.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I hope he's back because
Yeah,
I
back
mean
in
he's still really
100%.
young. It's only be his third season. Center, it sounds like they're gonna run back with Kendrick Green, but in my personal opinion, I think you should try and move him to guard, and I'd love to get Linderbaum in the first, and that would
Yeah,
just because I
no,
mean
100%.
center is a difficult position, and you could just tell it. It overwhelmed Kendrick Green. I think it was even Ben that just mentioned like I think Green would be a great guard. Just let him take away the mental stuff that he has to worry about playing center, and just let him play off instincts and just bully people, like be the bully that he is on the offensive line.
Yeah.
And I think he would. I think he would thrive there. I mean, I think he'd be for sure be better than he was this year at center. But the Steelers, they're a very patient franchise, and it sounds like they're gonna run it back with Green, which we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see how that
it's
goes.
not the best.
Right guard, you
It's
got Turner. I think he's gone. Obviously, not. He was not the problem. He's still a
but he
competent
wasn't the
offensive
solution.
lineman,
He's
but
not part of the solution.
when he's your best offensive lineman, you have major problems, and I think he
Yeah,
probably was our best offensive lineman last year as
which is
overall.
bad.
So yeah, I think he'll be gone. I think you'll upgrade at guard probably in free agency because guards are a little bit easier to find than tackles.
Or maybe a
Quality guards.
mid round prospect, second or
Yeah,
third.
and then right tackle Chooks. I think man, Chooks is okay. He's solid. I think he's solid in pass protection, but he's got a really thin frame, and just him specifically, and then offensive line as a whole, they just couldn't get any push like you were saying.
Yeah.
Really just Chooks. So I think you can do better. We'll see if they draft one of those early tackles, or they could pay up for a quality tackle in free agency, which
It might.
I think would be preferable. So I think you upgrade that right side of the line with guard and tackle. If I were to replace 2 guys,
Center tackles.
it would be Trey Turner and Chooks, which is funny because they weren't really they were probably 2 of the better linemen last year, but just based off the young guys and
Yeah.
you got to give them some more
Here's the
time.
thing about Chooks. He's had so long in this organization to prove and to grow, and when he finally gets a starting job, he's eh. He's not even. I wouldn't even call him good. He was okay, like you said. He's had so much time within the organization to grow
I think he,
as a pass protector and
I
as a
mean,
run blocker, and he just hasn't.
I think he's basically maxed out his potential. I mean, I think what you see is what you get. I don't think it's quite as bad as you think because I think I've listened to Dale Lally talk about this, but he says like, if Jukes hits the open market, he's gonna get paid because like competent tackles are just hard to come by, and they just really good ones just really don't hit free agency that often, and if you do, you're gonna have to pay up. So I think Jukes is starter caliber. He's a starting tackle in this league. Where like what range he would fall in, I don't know. Probably like I don't know, what is there, 64? He probably is in like the 55 to 64 range. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
obviously not great, but he's not the worst.
Yeah, but it's just there's no room to grow, and that's what I hate the most about Chooks is
I mean,
that
he is
he's
still like
always going to
25.
be.
So I mean,
Yeah,
like
but he's had so long within the organization. That's like if this was a guy that was like second, third year in the league, maybe I'd give him a little bit more. But he's been here for so long. I don't remember when he was drafted exactly, but it's just I don't think he can grow anymore. So that's the biggest reason why I don't like him. I'm not okay with having a guy on our line that is the 55th best tackle in the league.
Yeah,
We got to
and
get someone better than that.
I think you'll see. Like I've seen some Steelers media guys be like, "Oh, Chooks is solid. Like we have him back." But then you just get in that mindset where it's like, "Oh, if you go by position by position, you start making, you start kind of being like an apologist for the offensive line. You start making reasons to yourself as like why each one could come back or should come back, and then you're running the same offensive line out again."
Yep.
So I think
we've
that's
even fell into that trap a little bit too, just talking about
yeah.
it. But you have to change something. Like you said, Cole. I think at least two bodies. We need two new bodies in there, two new starters to just restart this offensive line because it's not where it needs to be, especially if we're bringing in a new quarterback possibly.
There's a saying,
Val Najee out.
the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for different results. And I think there's a fine line between being patient and waiting on guys to develop and kind of being in that like stubborn phase of just running it back.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope the Steelers know what they're doing there and they don't fall into that. But I think after what we've seen the last couple of years, you have to change something. You can't just be like, we're gonna hope these guys somehow turn the corner. But yeah, I think that's all we got on O-line. What do you think about quarterback? So I'm gonna go on record as saying it's not the end of the world if Mason Rudolph starts this year. Most people would disagree with me.
I agree. I think you need to bring someone in to compete with him, whether that's a rookie or a free agent signing, and whether he starts or not, I don't really care. It's just quarterback's not that important this season. A lot of people don't realize that. This season can be a bridge season.
There's value to having a starting quarterback who's being paid $3 million.
Yes, incredible value.
You can do a lot with the roster.
Yeah.
But I think my gut's telling me they will draft somebody in the first round, which I didn't think they would a month ago, but I think they will.
Yeah.
So I'd say quarterback, second need. Third need, I'm going to go with, I think you got to go with corner, especially with the question marks around Witherspoon and Hayden.
Yeah.
I love Joe Hayden.
My third need, I wrote defense as a whole. We have a really good defense, but every single spot, line, linebackers, and corner, we just need like one more guy. Like the D line was not good last year. Our run defense was terrible. And whether you get a big bruising nose guard to eat up a bunch of blockers to help us there, or you get a run stuffing linebacker, either one of those would help that situation. Then our corners have just never been good, and Hayden's getting older. Don't even know if we're gonna keep him because he's up this year, right?
Hayden?
Yeah.
Yeah. He and Witherspoon are both impending free agents.
Yeah. You have to sign Witherspoon again.
I think
really
he'll be a top priority for sure.
But then you have Sutton, then James Pierre, Justin Lane, Mullet, or Millette. I don't know, either one. But
Millette.
It's just not good, and that's not good. That's just bad. You need another body there, and that's why I said defense as a whole. You need another body at D line, another body at linebacker, and another body at corner.
Yeah, the D line is something I want to talk about because I don't think people realize how good Stephon Tuitt is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a couple of years ago, there was a point where you watched the games and you're like, man, this guy might be even better than Cameron Hayward. Like, he's that good.
He was.
Hayward is somehow improving every year.
Hayward's insane now.
Tuitt is, I think he's pretty underrated among Steelers fans, especially now since he set out the year, which,
it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. But I hope he's back.
I heard tough.
Mark Madden actually said he had a source that told him he's leaning towards retirement, which would suck because I think just Tuitt coming back, he's under contract. So I mean this would not cost us anything. we don't have to re-sign him. If Tuitt's back, that solves so many problems. And Alualu's already committed to coming back. How effective is he going to be at whatever age 34,
Wormley.
35?
Wormley's back.
Wormley's back, which I know Wormley's another subject there. He played well. He played well. He exceeded expectations for sure last year, but you don't want him playing starter minutes. I mean,
right. And then who's the other guy they brought in last minute who played insanely well? Adams? Was that his name?
Montravius Adams. I like Montravius Adams. I would love to have him back for depth. So I think you draft
put
a
him
guy.
on the rotation, come in when Tuitt or Hayward's tired.
I mean, Tuitt, Alualu, you've got two guys coming back that are going to just transform your run defense. And suddenly you don't have to draft high D-line this year.
Yeah, that D-line no longer becomes an issue with Tuitt back.
I mean, you lose Tuitt and Alualu like that beginning of the year. Suddenly you have Isaiah Buggs playing significant minutes. I mean, it's just all downhill from there. I mean, we saw how bad he was. I mean, we just cut him late in the year. So, dude, that could help the development of the linebackers. I mean, I think Tuitt coming back is the single most important thing that's going to develop this offseason for the Steelers.
Yeah, the way that we looked at Hayward this year, where every single play he was in, he had his hands up batting the balls, he was shoving people into the quarterback, he was an insane force. That was Tuitt last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. Hayward's just come up and become astounding and really good this year, but that was always Tuitt. If we can get two of those on our D-line, that's not even counting the outside linebackers, just the D-line. Incredible D-line. And then you got like T.J. Watt. He's pretty good too. Coming off the edge.
So, I think they're going to do some restructuring. They're going to clear even more cap space. I think they'll try and bring back Witherspoon. I hope Hayden comes back on like a one-year deal, 2-year deal, whatever. Cheap. Yeah. I know he wants paid. We'll see. You don't really want to pay old corners usually, but I love Joe Hayden.
So do I. His heart's in Pittsburgh.
Consistent since he's been signed, and we haven't had that from the corner position. But, I mean, you're in great shape then. You can sign Witherspoon, maybe move Sutton back to the slot full time.
Yeah. Edmonds
is another priority guy. You need to re-sign Edmonds this offseason.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad at all. He did fine. And Minka, a lot of people might think he had a down year. He led our team in freaking tackles.
Minka had a down year because the linebackers were so freaking bad.
He had to basically be a linebacker.
He was basically our best linebacker this year. I mean, so many of our games this year were just like one possession games. Mm-hmm. And there were so many times if Minka doesn't make these crazy tackles coming from the second level, I mean, there's nobody behind Minka. If Minka misses these tackles, I mean, it's a touchdown. I don't think people realize how many points he saved and how many games he saved this year by just being quick and decisive and knowing where he's supposed to be. Yeah, Minka did not have a down year.
And if Tuitt comes back or we find another way to fix our run defense, that completely frees up Minka to go out there and do Minka stuff and
the
get
defensive line. I mean, you always say this. The trenches are key, and if Tuitt comes back, it hopefully frees up Bush. He doesn't get caught in as many offensive linemen coming to the second level. It frees up Minka, to play just roam back in the backfield or deep downfield.
Yep.
And man, it's just there's so many holes taken away by Tuitt coming back this year. So we'll see. That's my biggest wish. Is for him to return, because that defense, I mean, suddenly you're going from the worst run defense in the league, and that causes so many other problems to like a top 5 unit again. If he comes back and Alualu's back healthy and add a couple draft picks, I mean, they can be scary again. So I think that's, I mean, obviously, I think you want to add probably a mid-round wide receiver, and then probably sign somebody if you don't bring back Juju. So
love to have Juju back. A lot of Juju hate in Pittsburgh. A lot of Juju love in Pittsburgh. I'm definitely on the love side.
Yeah.
He needs to be used better. Used more like he was his rookie year when he was across from AB. And we can just have him be across from Deontay, because Deontay's definitely wide receiver number 1 on this team. But I love him. He's a good player, and he loves the city. I mean, he came back super early from a terrible injury that knocked him out the entire season to play in the playoff game. He wasn't really supposed to do that either. Like, that took a lot of heart to do to come out and play that. And he could have re-injured his injury. He could have tanked his free agency stock. I'd love to have him back. He's a great guy. Stuff he does for the community too is incredible.
Yeah, I don't know if you just said this, but I also think he kind of hasn't been used the way that he should have been used these past couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back and watch his tape from his sophomore year, I mean, people were already calling him a top 10 receiver in the league. And then Ben gets more limited, and he starts being used strictly for blocking and running these stupid 4-yard routes. I mean, Juju was a legit deep ball contested catch type player, combat catcher.
He had 98, 96-yard touchdowns?
Yeah. I mean, he's put on muscle, so he's not he's not as fast as he was then, but yeah, I do think he could be used. He's great after the catch. He can still be in a I mean, yeah, they gotta get smart with scheming up some stuff for the different styles of playmakers they have in offense, but
yeah, wide receiver is my fourth need, just because we need one more body. I think even after Juju, we could find a late wide receiver. And then my fifth need was backup running back. It's something smaller, but you can't have Najee taking up so many snaps.
That's something that's very important, but it should be very easy to take care of.
Yeah, very easy. That's why it was late on mine, but it's something you need to do, whether that's a random guy in free agency or another rookie. But I mean, we can't have Snell getting carries like he was last year. And last year he got no carries because we were giving Najee the ball on 90% of our offensive plays.
Yeah. Snell's very inconsistent, but he's just
Benny Snell football.
I don't think he's cut out. Every time he gets on your bad side, you're like, man, I don't ever want to see this guy touch the ball again. And he'll go out and break off like a 15-yard run. But yeah, Snell's not ideal for your backup running back. So that should be pretty easy. Sign a cheap veteran backup.
Yeah, I think we tried that with Balaj, but Balaj is only slightly better than Snell this year.
Yeah, you can do better than that.
The next subject we're going to go over real quickly here is draft prospects we like. Obviously, Steelers, Big Ben gone. Quarterback's a big need. Who do you like, Cole?
I got two guys I like who I would consider taking if they were there in the first round, and that is Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett. You're going to hear those names a lot. I think I'd have Malik Willis as my QB1. I think, man, I've just heard it so much, but I think I'd be fine with Willis being our first-round pick if we take him at 20. He just got a lot of upside, and if the Steelers really like him, they see something in him, then I trust them. So those two guys, outside of those two guys, I don't love anyone else. Corral's interesting. You see him ranked third a lot, so we'll see, how he looks at the combine and stuff.
Yeah. My thoughts on this quarterback class for the Steelers is the same kind of idea I had last year when all I'm thinking is O-line, 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 O-line. But if it's not O-line, have it be Malik Willis, or in last year's case, Harris, Najee, because, I mean, obviously, I think last year we made the right choice, even though I'm sitting here hammering we need O-line before we can get a running back because he's just going to die. Najee was just an incredible talent that really shouldn't have fallen that far, even though running backs are not very important in today's football. They're a little more so than I was thinking a couple of years ago, but Harris is an incredible talent. Get him where we got him was really good, and it was better than taking any of the O-line available, even though there was some really good talent there. And I think this year, same thing. We need O-line, we need O-line, we need O-line. Get me a Linderbaum. Get me one of these good tackles. But if we're not going to get O-line, and I know a lot of us are looking at quarterback, I think it's Malik Willis or not. I mean, I like Pickett, but just swing for the fences. Get Willis, I guess.
Yeah.
Pickett's the safer choice, obviously, but since one of the safer choice worked out.
I think Willis, if you fix the O-line, if you really make a conscious effort to fix the O-line this year, and it's significantly improved, Willis has a great environment like almost a
Yep.
perfect environment to
And
reach
that's
his
one of the
potential.
best things for a boomer
He's got
bust quarterback
playmakers.
too.
He's got an elite running back. Hopefully have a solid O line. He's
And
got
one of
a
the best defenses
solid
in
coach,
football.
Mike Tomlin. Yep, good defense. Offensive
Yeah.
coordinator, that's a different story, but we'll see. We'll give candidates
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
But
it's the thing with Willis is his arm talent's insane, his running ability is amazing, and he can hit people too. His accuracy is not the problem. A lot of people might say that. His real problem is decision making, because he's a horrible decision maker.
this dude's
His
also a
process
freaking
is
tank.
terrible.
He's like 6'3" and like 225 pounds. Like he's not like Lamar Jackson, like tall and skinny. This dude's like he's built. So I'm hoping that
Yeah,
means he's a little bit less injury prone.
yeah. Should be able to take a couple hits and get up and lay out a couple himself on some smaller defensive backs. But yeah, the real question is, are you going to be able to? Is he going to be able to read a defense? Is he going to be able to look at his first read, see it's not there, and go to his check down or his second receiver? Because in college, if his first read wasn't there, he would just run. He wouldn't look at anything else. He wouldn't even have his head up while he runs off to the right. So I don't know, maybe someone comes open and over there. No, he just runs. He just bolts. And he was really good at it, but it's not going to be in the same in the NFL. I mean, Lamar Jackson does it pretty well, but Lamar's processor isn't that bad. I mean, he's not great passer, but he can suffice. But with Willis, the arm talent's there, the accuracy's there, the mobility's there. Those are three big things that you can't necessarily teach. Accuracy maybe, but the other two definitely not. The big thing is just you got to get the mentals down, and you just got to hope that the Steelers organization is good enough to help him learn. And maybe he sits. I would be totally fine having Rudolph start the first half of the season, and having Willis sit. I know a lot of people would hate that, but
Yep.
if he needs to sit and he needs to learn the playbook and he learns to make reads and learn to read a defense, and he comes out and he's stronger for it, I'm 100% for that.
Yep, I agree.
Yep. And I'm also, surprisingly enough, I like Matt Corral. I think he's basically Willis, but like great value brand. If you get him in the second round, third round, yeah, I don't care. That's
I
fine.
don't think he's falling that far. I mean, I see him going
I
in
don't think he's
first a
fallen
lot.
that far either. But if you can somehow find him in the third round, even if
I
he's straight
haven't
up
seen.
early third
I
round.
just really haven't watched him, so I don't really know enough about him to make any judgments.
He's surprisingly mobile. He's not
Oh, yeah,
Malik
I know
Willis,
he's
but
mobile,
he's
but
fairly
yeah.
close. And he's got a good arm. I think he's a little better decision making wise, but he's still not good at that. But he's certainly better than Willis is. So it's kind of, if you want a slightly less risky Malik Willis, but at that point, why not just go full risk, full reward? You can just hope you hit. I mean, that's what you got to do with quarterbacks. You don't the safer. I mean, like look at Rosen. Rosen was the safe pick because he was the most NFL ready, and he tanked. And then you look at someone like Josh Allen, who is like, this dude is incredible. Who knows what's going to happen? I think if Josh Allen went to Cleveland, he would have been out of the league already. That's how bad I viewed Cleveland at that
Yeah,
point.
it really does matter where you go and how they develop. Because you just
you remember
I was
Josh
just thinking
Allen?
about this earlier in the episode. Like, how many quarterbacks, high pedigree quarterbacks, do you think have been ruined by the environment? And like, how many, just like, how different would the
Sam
QB
Darnold.
landscape look if it was switched around? Where
Sam
they got
Darnold,
drafted?
100%. Went to the Jets, had nothing. Went to the Panthers, had even less. And he did good for the first couple bit with the Panthers, but it's just a bad team. Not much more.
You still
to
think
it.
Darnold can be salvaged?
Yes, I think someone can make him. He's still young. He's what, like
I know.
24?
I know.
He's still a super young guy.
I don't think so. I think I think he had some consistency in Carolina, and he had his chance, that he really just blew it.
I guess, but Carolina's still a terrible team. I know that they were like what 5-1 or something crazy, and people were
Yeah,
going nuts.
and they had solid
But
receivers.
They were not a good
He
team.
didn't have McCaffrey the whole year. That kind of hurt him.
I still think he can be savage. Am I willing to try it right now, like as the Steelers, like if we were to sign him or trade for him or something? We already have bodies. It's just not for us. Someone that has a starter for the next year or two, like maybe. Well, I guess Green Bay has Love, but somebody who's got like a certified starter for the next year or two, and then after that might need somebody. Should sign Darnold, try to teach him up, see what's there, because I still think there's
Give him the
something. He
Mitch
was taken
Trubisky
that high for a
treatment.
reason. Yeah, I think just like that, like Mitch.
All right, what's next?
O-line prospects, Linderbaum, obviously incredible
Yeah,
for the
there's really
Steelers.
4 tackles that you're looking at. Um, Evan Neal, Ekwonu,
Hmm.
Charles
Cross.
Cross, and Trevor Penning. And
Hmm.
there's a good chance Trevor Penning's there on the Steelers pick. Very, very unlikely the top 3 are there. I've seen Cross fall in a couple mocks, but I don't
Yeah.
agree with that. They're very good prospects, so I think the Steelers should run to the table if those top 3 are there. They should
Hmm.
probably think about Penning. I don't think they value him higher than Willis. I wouldn't value him higher than Linderbaum.
Correct.
I like Linderbaum. There's 2 good guards to look out for: Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green.
Hmm. I think
They should be
Johnson I've
available as
seen
well.
falling in a couple drafts to the second round.
So
You might have to trade up for him, but
there's a scenario I like. Um, if Willis and Pickett are gone, quarterbacks that you like are gone, and Linderbaum's gone, I would think about trading back 3 or 4 spots, maybe more, picking up one of these guards who are like they're kind of seen as like can't miss guys. They're not like they're guards, so they're not super flashy. They're not. That's why they're
yeah.
not projected to go high in the first. But you can trade back, pick up a 3rd round pick or something, where you have that gap where you don't have any picks, and also get a quality starter on the offensive line. So I like that
Hmm.
scenario.
Zion Johnson's definitely my favorite. I
Yeah.
really like him. I think he could be really good. Someone I forget who it was, but said that Johnson was their highest rated guy since Nelson,
Yeah. I think
which
it actually was um what's his name? Marcus.
might have been. It was either Marcus or Brett, or maybe Alex Kozora, something like that. Those are the guys I generally follow. Brett Coleman. That's what I meant by Brett. But yeah, I really like him. I think it's dream scenario: Linderbaum first, Zion second. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think Zion's gonna fall all the way to our second. We might have to trade up for him,
Yeah.
but that would fix our O line right up. Other
I
than
think
tackle.
the Bengals would jump right on one of those guys at
Yeah,
31. So
yeah. And there's some drafts I've seen where wide receivers are falling like crazy, and I know it's actually happened in real drafts recently.
yeah, I think it's a fairly deep wide receiver class. I don't know if there's any really dominant wide receiver ones in this
But
draft, but there
you
should
got
be
a good top five guys like
some solid
Williams
wide
and
receiver twos. Like yeah,
yeah,
I mean
all
some of those guys are
Olave.
for sure going to be there at Steelers pick. I don't think they'll take them unless they really like him.
Yeah, it's a need, but it's not a big need. It's definitely not one of
Yeah,
our biggest needs. It's something that would be nice, and that's why I'm thinking, get someone in round 3, round 4, round 5 to round out our wide receiving core. But it's not someone you should really take with your top pick when you have such big holes on this team.
yep.
And then there's some good defensive guys. There's a corner that fell during one of the mock drafts I was doing on my own. I doubt that's going to happen. I forget who it was that fell. We're probably not going to get a good corner with that first pick. Maybe the second, and then linebackers is supposed to be a good draft for.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a couple good ones up. Kobe Dean and Devin Lloyd. They're 2 like
Yeah, Lloyd.
first/second round prospects.
Yep. Could be interesting if nobody else is there. Maybe pick up a
That could be
linebacker.
another guy. I could see maybe trading back and picking up Lloyd, who I've heard
Yep.
really good things about. Um, but I don't think they'll do that because there's a lot of solid mid-round linebackers that are going to be available. That
Hmm.
if I would bet money that they draft a linebacker in the second or third. I
Yeah.
think if I were to bet, I think there's good odds that they take one in the second or third round, just because it's
Yeah,
so
the Steelers
deep.
are really good about that too. At seeing there's a lot of really good guys that we can get later. Let's not get this position yet.
Yeah.
They're really good at doing that. That pretty much rounds out the draft prospects I had an eye on. What about you, Cole?
A couple defensive lineman guys. I mean, this really is going to depend on Tuitt coming back. Because if Tuitt, like we said, if Tuitt decides he's going to retire, then suddenly defensive line becomes a need. And I really like Jordan Davis, and I've heard really
Yeah,
good
he's
things
good.
about Devontae Wyatt, both Georgia guys. So I could see them. And there's another guy, I think Travis Jones from UConn, that is supposed to be pretty good. So I could see definitely taking defensive line in the first 2 rounds if Tua does not come back. So
Yeah.
those are 3 guys to look out for. They should go somewhere between the 15th pick to I don't know somewhere in the second round. So I don't know. I think you're looking at quarterback or O-line most likely in the first round for the Steelers though.
Yep.
So real quick, last thing, we'll just run through. We'll do a 3-round mock. We're gonna use Pro Football Focus for this, which they're questionable, but usually they have solid draft stuff. Let's kick this off here. They've got let me start this draft. Oh wow, that is really fast. All right, they had Hutchinson going 1, Derek Stingley going 2 to Detroit,
Ooh.
Thibodeau going 3 to Houston, Ekwonu the tackle going 4th to the Jets, Evan Neal falling to 5.
Jeez.
That's a dream
Hamilton?
scenario for the Giants. And then Karlaftis goes 6, which is crazy because I've seen him go
Jeez.
late in the first round. And the Giants take Kyle Hamilton with the 7th pick. So they
Wow.
pick up Evan Neal and Kyle Hamilton, possibly the 2 best players in this draft. They would
Jeez.
be thrilled
That'd be incredible.
if that happened. Charles Cross goes 8 to the Falcons. Kenny Pickett goes 9 to Denver. Garrett Wilson 10th to the
Replacing
Jets.
Teddy Two Gloves with Kenny Two Gloves.
Yep. 11, Matt Corral to the Commanders. 12, Sauce Gardner to Minnesota. 13, the Browns take Chris Olave. 14, the Ravens take wide receiver Drake London. 15, the Eagles take linebacker Nakobe Dean. 16, they grab Linderbaum. 17, Trent McDuffie to the
That's the
Chargers.
guy who might have fallen that I was talking about earlier.
18, David Ojabo to the Saints. 19, Jameson Williams to the Eagles. So we're on the clock here at 20. We've got a few guys here that we've talked about. Devin Lloyd's available. Kenyon Green, one of the good guards, is available. Malik Willis is available. Trevor Penning, Devontae Wyatt, Traylon Burks, really good receiver there. So you've got options. Um, Zion Johnson, Jordan Davis, a lot of guys I would consider with this pick.
Hmm.
So that immediately, I'm thinking, do we want to trade down? But how much do you love Willis?
Yeah, that's a question. Oh line, oh line, oh line, oh line.
Okay, here's the thing though.
Willis.
Look at this. Picks after us. Patriots, 21.
They got Mac.
Yep. 22, Raiders. They got Carr. 23, Cardinals. Murray.
Kyler Murray.
24, Cowboys.
Dak.
25, Bills. 26,
Allen.
Allen. 27, that's the first team the quarterback need. That is Tampa. I'm thinking we trade down to 27 here. What do
Yeah.
you think?
26, 27, something like that. See if Willis is still there. Pick up a third, second
Yep,
maybe.
I'll trade down to 26 with the Titans. Hopefully this does not take me too long. 26, 20. What do we want to pick up? We want to pick up. They don't have many. I'm gonna try to pick the 90th pick. Yikes. Where's 90? That's like early third round. I guess it's not that bad. You want to do that?
Yeah, that's good by me. Like I
They,
said, third or
they
second.
accepted. We probably let them get off easy there, but let's resume this draft. All right. Traylon Burks goes to the Patriots. Oh, the Titans, they took Devin Lloyd.
Oh no, that's
That
like
trade.
mid, late third. Yeah, we definitely let him off way too easy on that one.
Yeah, yeah. Andrew Booth, the corner, goes to the Raiders. Jordan Davis to the Cardinals. Kyer Elam to the Cowboys. And Kenyon Green goes to the Bills. So we are on the clock here. Still available: Malik Willis, Trevor Penning, Devontae Wyatt, Zion
I think you got to
Johnson.
go Willis. I think you got to go
I
Willis. I
agree.
mean, you
I
trade
agree. If we
down,
traded
get your
back,
quarterback.
traded back to a position. Yeah, I think we take Willis. We picked up a third. Probably should have gotten more out of that, but
Just pretend we got like a fourth or a fifth
yeah.
as well.
All right, took Willis. The Bucks took Trevor Penning. Let's scroll down a little bit here. Bengals take Jahan Dotson, wide receiver. Don't know about that one, Chief. That's not gonna happen. Sam Howell goes to Houston. Jermaine Johnson falls the second round to the Jets. Scrolling down here. Zion Johnson goes to the Browns at pick 45.
Yeah.
Devontae Wyatt goes to the Colts. And we are on the clock at 52.
That Browns O-line's disgusting, though. They get Zion in there.
Yeah. Jalen
I mean,
Petrie.
it's already really good.
Cornerback
Jeez.
available. Sky Moore available.
Don't take Sky Moore in the second.
Leo
Especially
Chenal.
not in these mocks. He almost always falls.
Travis
third.
Jones, one of that defensive linemen I was telling you about. That should be solid. Boye Mafe, edge rusher, probably not. Kyler Gordon, corner. Not gonna lie, none of these things. Man, we really should have gotten more out of that trade. We messed up. All right. I like Travis Jones, good defensive lineman.
That bears the question of whether Tuitt comes or not in this world. This would be assuming not. I don't think we'd do anything with the D-line if Tuitt comes back.
Let's just assume he's gonna retire. We'll take Travis Jones.
Yep. Happy with that.
We are on the clock at 84 and also 90. Sky Moore still there. I think we jump on that here. Boye Mafe also still there. He's solid edge rusher out of Minnesota. Here's
we
the
already
question.
got one D-line.
Yeah, but he's kind of like an edge guy.
Oh, okay.
You could plug him in behind, be the third guy. I mean, we're kind of thin there behind Highsmith and Watt. I think.
Yeah, we used to have a guy for that, and then he went and bailed to go to the Chiefs.
Do we pass up O-line again? There's Dylan Parham here. At this point, we're just taking like depth O-line, which we're gonna have to assume that we addressed O-line in free agency.
Yeah, this is not a great O-line draft for us here.
I think we try and get Boye Mafe, and then 6 picks later, hope this guy Moore's still there.
I think he should be. Hopefully.
Let's try it. He's ranked 30th on their big board though, when we are at pick 84. So I think it's a shock that we have. And there's three teams with their top need is wide receiver. The next.
God. Oh God.
Maybe we should trade up. Maybe we should trade up to 85. We'd only have to give up like a 6th.
Or we could take Sky Moore now and hope.
Boye Mafe's there. Let's do that. We'll take Sky Moore. Boye Mafe's still there. We got our guy.
Go!
Also,
brilliant draft strategy by
Troy Anderson, linebacker, still there. Channing Tindall still there. Was it you that's talking about Channing Tindall?
Nope.
Oh. You were talking about Leo Chenal, I think, right?
I think so.
That was your guy. Yeah, these kind of suck. We'll take Boye Mafe. I think his value is just too good if he's there in the third round.
It'll be nice. He can learn up behind the best edge rusher in the league.
Yeah. I like that.
Push Highsmith to do some good things, too.
So we just did a 3-round mock there. It's loading our results. We traded back, got Malik Willis in the first round, picked up Travis Jones, defensive line help in the second. Third, we got Sky Moore, Pittsburgh native, wide receiver, and also Boye Mafe in the third round, who I've heard good things about as an edge rusher. But I like that. I mean, we missed. We didn't draft O-line. That's kind of the way it went. Let's just.
Yeah. We had Zion in the first, but I think you wait on that. Maybe trade back up if you really want him. But
yeah, especially if Willis is still there.
Yeah, I think that's one of the situations where there's not much you can do about it. It is what it is. No O-line help from the draft. Hopefully, we got some good people in the free agency. But
yep.
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it for our first episode.
Yep.
I think
That's a wrap.
my voice hurts. We'll be back sometime. Maybe a couple months.
Yeah, who knows? When some more news breaks, maybe closer to draft, maybe after free agency.
Yep.
Something like that.
We'll be back on Sport Podcast.